Hi everyone and welcome to a new opinion series I've entitled Legendary Encounters. This is where I'll lead you through some of the more powerful legendaries in Star Trek Adversaries that you may consider crafting. Today we're looking at the almost all-powerful Borg Cube, or at least it was until Voyager nerfed it, but that's just my opinion and I'm sticking with it. From looking at that 10 energy cost, this thing better come close to winning the game on its own, and it near as makes no difference can do exactly that. This ship acts as almost universal removal. There are very few playable ships in the game which have a power greater than 4 without the aid of crew, and as an aside, most Guardians, with the exception of some legendaries, will fit into this category, leading to the cube protecting itself using your opponent's resources, which is always brilliant value. Even if it's just salt value, it's still great value. When it comes to crafting legendaries in games such as Star Trek Adversaries, I personally look at the neutral cards first before looking at factions, as neutral cards can be played by any faction, giving you more bang for your buck. And I'd say the Cube is one of probably 2 premium neutral ships in the game, and it can be argued that for sheer game-ending dominance, this ship is more than likely going to take top spot. Obviously this card is meant for your control or retreat style deck and will not fit as well into your pure aggro deck, but then again I guess that most people watching this video will have already figured out that a deck looking to end the game in the first 6 to 8 turns is probably not looking to shoehorn in a 10 drop, no matter how powerful it may be. So with the introduction of this ship over, let's have a look at a PvP game using the cube I played recently where it shows off its power to simply end the game. I'm playing my Miranda style control deck and I'm up against an opponent playing an interesting Galaxy class deck who seems to want to ultimate to produce the 3/5 Galaxy battleship which deals 5 damage at the end of every turn and then hide it behind Guardians. I think this deck is probably a perfect target for a cube. So enjoy the game, let me know what you think about the series, and I'll see you guys soon. Is it the same guy? I'm playing against the same guy, great. I managed to queue directly into the same guy. Like, not the best, but hey. Do I actually just go aggro here? I think I do. Just take possession of the board, as it were. This can be a fairly difficult decision to make if your deck isn't designed to be an aggressive deck, which I must confess mine is not. However, if your opponent is going to concede the board, and sometimes you can just get a tempo start, because even in control decks you have to play early game drops to avoid getting run over, because there's no such things as spells in Star Trek Adversaries. So if you can gain control of the board early, you can actually get yourself into a really good position where you can follow up. I would say that the disadvantage of the way that my opponent is playing here is that giving up board control so early means that even if he gets his ultimate off, he could very easily just walk into a full field, and that gives me a turn to react to him rather than him getting all of his ships down onto an empty board. And I think that's where I get the advantage, because I can actually break out of the situation a little bit easier than he might want. Still, because of the ship on the board, I'm going to play Quark and retreat, and we move on. Cost 2, lets me make a 3 drop. Yep. And this is like his turnaround turn.
It's unethical to harm a patient.
Okay.
Being in Starfleet is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay, so he's got a 6 power guy. At this point, I'm actually content just to let him have his 4-6 in play while I develop my board a little bit more. I'd rather develop my board a bit more and then take care of his 4-6 at a later date than potentially damage my board state to where he can potentially recover and take the board control. I have a haste ship in hand. I have an AoE as well. I have a couple of pumps as well. So I'm really not too concerned about what my opponent can potentially do to me at this point, and a Reliant and a heal isn't really too much of an issue for me at this point. And he does in fact put damage onto his ship anyway, so that's fine. It stopped him from going face. It didn't give him the opportunity. Now I've drawn a Borg Cube here, and in fact one thing I am thinking about is, do I just retreat my jammer straight away and cube his 4-4? Which will allow me to ramp into the cube, but I think that's going a little bit too far. And one thing that I have learnt while playing this Miranda deck, I've not played too many games with it, but I tend to think that the best way that I can play it is to play somewhat conservatively, because and not use, by conservative I sort of mean don't use all my resources when I don't have to. You can see here that I've actually taken out his board. I've got pretty firm board control with a 5 power jammer in play and 2 guardians, and I still have access to probably the 4 most powerful cards I have available in my hand. And you're going to see this turn, this has actually led to me, and while he's just shut down my jammer, something a heck of a lot worse is about to happen to him. Yeah, you kind of had to do that. I've actually just realised that I've assimilated Wesley as well with that manoeuvre, so the Borg have just got a heck of a lot more whiny, but I'm pretty sure that that gets me an awful lot of style points. Reduce cost of all cards by 2, yeah. This card's disgusting, by the way. So it's one of the first crafts, and in fact for a video that's going to be coming on my channel very shortly, I am going to be looking into what ships, because it is fairly generous with Latinum how much you get given, so you know, I think that it's actually a yeah, okay, it's already done its damage. I just wish I had like something I could neutralize my own ship with. That'd be so cool. Okay. What you gonna bounce that into? While I always like to analyse my own play, I think that it is important that we also analyse all the play that's in a game. And if I'm being honest there, one thing that you do have to remember when you're playing Star Trek Adversaries is that sometimes the best line is to do nothing. And I think that throwing away the Yorktown there was pretty much unnecessary. It was kind of very similar to the decision I had early in the game about whether I just put 2 damage on my opponent's tactical ship or whether I decided to go ahead and just attack face so I couldn't do anything. So my opponent wouldn't just get a freebie of a ship and he'd have to attack it. This is a mistake the way I do this. The correct play is just to put Travis on the sphere, shoot the modular shield down, and then attack with the sphere. At this point I'm trying to save Travis, and there's not really much point in doing that. As long as I keep things up, this game is pretty much won. So therefore I think this is a bit of a needless waste of damage there, and I lost the Guardian. But I guess I'm going to put another copy of the Glen in play, and we're in a situation where there's not going to be too many things that I can do that are absolutely and utterly disastrously wrong. And I'll actually haste it up just so I can get a bit more auxiliary power. I'll make that because it'll make everything cheaper again. And I've actually got 20 orcs again for next turn, so I can make a shuttle. Okay, guys, I am going to make this the last game for tonight. Coming up on about 9:30 UK time, and obviously I do have work in the morning, so I don't want to be going too long on this. But I do want to thank everyone for turning out to the stream. It really does mean a lot. So thank you again very much for everyone showing up. Do I just four all his ships. Oh, I could have done that as well. That was stupid. I could have actually... Oh, no, I couldn't because I had to use it to retreat. I'll use the special. Gain some health and hit him for 6, I suppose. Or do I just leave it? 2, 4, 6, 9... Now I'll hit him. Put him on 5. Okay, so he gets to kill one of my guys. Yep. Does he live with that? He goes to 8. Yeah, he's on 1. He's on 1. And he's now dead. And that wasn't BM. You can actually check the stream, and it was very much the last card that I drew. It was indeed. No BM here. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Looking forward to your feedback, and I'll see you next time.